Imagine hearing your phone ring in the dead of night. You pick it up expecting the usual. But what if the voice on the other end isn't from the land of the living? Today we're diving into 6 chilling stories of people who receive phone calls and text messages from the realm beyond the grave. In 2008, the Chatsworth train collision in California claimed many lives, including Charles Peck. Hours after the accident, Charles's phone made 35 calls to his family. Each call was met with eerie silence. Rescuers found Charles's body. He had died on impact, and his phone's battery was dead. Yet the calls persisted. Was it a glitch, or something more profound? The mystery of Charles Peck's phone calls challenges our understanding of life and death. 3 years after Leslie Emerson's death, her granddaughter Sherry began receiving texts from Leslie's old number. At first, Sherry thought it was a cruel prank or a technical glitch. The messages were comforting, like, "I'm watching over you and you will be all right." These words brought Sherry a sense of peace and connection to her late grandmother. Leslie's number had been disconnected, making the texts even more mysterious. Sherry contacted the service provider, but they confirmed the number was no longer in use. Could it be a reassigned number or something more? Sherry wondered if someone else had taken over the number and was sending these messages. The timing of the messages often coincided with significant events in Sherry's life. On her birthday, she received a text saying, "Happy birthday, my dear." At her wedding, another message read, "I am so proud of you." Was it a grieving mind seeking solace, or genuine communication from beyond? Sherry couldn't help but feel a deep emotional connection to these messages. Leslie's texts blur the lines between the physical and digital realms. They made Sherry question the boundaries of life and death, and whether love could transcend even the most final of separations. Sherry began documenting each message in a journal, noting the dates and the significance of each event. She found comfort in believing that her grandmother was still watching over her. The journal became a cherished keepsake, a way for Sherry to keep her grandmother's memory alive. Each entry was a testament to the enduring bond they shared. Sherry shared the messages with close friends and family who were equally astonished. Some believed it was a sign from the afterlife, while others thought it was a beautiful coincidence. The mystery of Leslie's text became a topic of fascination and debate. It sparked conversations about the nature of existence and the possibility of life after death. Whether it was a supernatural occurrence or a series of fortunate coincidences, the messages brought Sherry comfort and a sense of closeness to her grandmother. They reminded her that love, in its truest form, never really dies. And so, with each new message, Sherry felt a little less alone, knowing that her grandmother's love was always just a text away. In 2011, Jack Froese passed away, but months later his friends and family received emails from his account. The emails were personal, reflecting Jack's unique humour and wit. One email to Tim Hart mentioned a private joke about cleaning Tim's attic. How could anyone else know about that? Was Jack's consciousness somehow persisting in the digital realm? Or was it a technological glitch or hack? Jack's emails challenge our understanding of consciousness and digital legacies. On Reddit, a user shared a chilling story of receiving a birthday call from their deceased mother. It was a day like any other, and the user was casually browsing through their notifications when they saw an incoming call that made their heart skip a beat. The call came from her disconnected number. The user stared at the screen, unable to believe their eyes. How could this be possible? The number had been out of service since her passing. The user answered, hearing only static and silence. They waited, hoping to hear their mother's voice, but there was nothing but an eerie, unsettling quiet. The static seemed to whisper secrets that were just out of reach. The phone company confirmed the number was disconnected. They assured the user that there was no way a call could have come from that number. It was a dead end, literally and figuratively. Was it a cruel prank, a glitch, or something more? The user couldn't shake the feeling that there was a deeper meaning behind the call. They began to question everything they knew about life and death. Could a mother's love transcend death? The bond between a mother and child is said to be unbreakable, even by the grave. Could it be that this call was a sign of her enduring love and presence? This story forces us to confront the possibility that our loved ones may not be as distant as we think. It challenges our understanding of the afterlife and the connections that bind us. In a digital age, the line between the living and the dead blurs. Technology connects us in ways we never imagined, but it also opens doors to the unknown. Could it be that the digital realm allows for messages from beyond the grave? This story leaves us with more questions than answers, but it also offers a glimmer of hope that love truly never dies. After the tragic events of 9/11, some reported receiving calls from loved ones who had perished. One woman received a call from her husband, who was on a hijacked plane. His voice was faint but unmistakable. Others reported similar experiences. How could these calls be possible with the tower's communication systems destroyed? Were they technological anomalies or something more profound? These calls remind us of the enduring power of love and connection. Even in death, the human spirit seeks to reach out. Jessica received a call from her deceased brother's number months after his tragic accident. She had been trying to move on, but this unexpected call brought back a flood of emotions. The phone rang insistently as if demanding her attention, and she hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. Trembling, she answered, hearing his faint voice say, "Jess, it's me. Don't be afraid." The voice was unmistakably his, filled with the same warmth and reassurance she remembered. It was as if he was right there with her, bridging the gap between the living and the dead. The line went dead before she could respond. She stood there, frozen, the phone slipping from her grasp. The silence that followed was deafening, a stark contrast to the brief moment of connection she had just experienced. The number was disconnected, leaving her with a mix of awe and terror. She tried calling back, but the line was no longer in service. It was as if the call had never happened, a fleeting whisper from another realm. Was it a hallucination or a genuine message from beyond? Jessica couldn't shake the feeling that her brother had reached out to her, defying the boundaries of life and death. She questioned her sanity, wondering if grief had played tricks on her mind. Jessica's experience challenges our understanding of life and death. She found herself drawn to old family photos, searching for answers in the memories they held. Each picture seemed to hold a piece of the puzzle, a clue to the mystery of her brother's call. It forces us to consider the possibility that our digital footprints may outlive us. In an age where our lives are increasingly intertwined with technology, could our digital presence continue to exist even after we're gone? Jessica scrolled through old messages, finding comfort in the words her brother had left behind. Could they serve as conduits for communication from beyond the grave? The idea seemed far-fetched, yet Jessica couldn't dismiss it entirely. The call had felt so real, so tangible. It was a reminder that the line between the living and the dead might be thinner than we think, and that love, in all its forms, has the power to transcend even the greatest of divides. These 6 stories of phone calls from beyond the grave leave us with many more questions than answers. Are they mere coincidences, technological glitches, or could they be proof that the afterlife has ways of reaching us in the living world? What do you think? Could these calls truly be from the realm beyond, or is it something more explainable? Let me know in the comments below.